both directions over our crossover. That it went into effect yesterday around 3 p.m. Everything has gone as expected, as anticipated. We had obviously we had some slower volumes this morning, going in both directions, but that's what our model showed, and that's what we expected. And we want folks to drive slowly through these crossovers and over this bridge. The net gain has been, as we've seen, the speeds go back up on the Wando Bridge, not just in the southbound direction, but in the northbound direction to pre-closure speeds. So that is very promising. In addition, we've driven the other alternate route, SC41 at Clements Ferry. That alternate route was also flowing much better this morning as opposed to last week when we were checking it. We've got law enforcement out here still, as well as our towing services. Law enforcement was here all last night. There were no reported incidents. I'm very happy to report there were no incidents last night. However, law enforcement did have to pull over some folks that were speeding through this work zone. So I really want to stress to those of you that are driving through this at non-peak hours, we need to slow down. Go the posted speed limit. And if you aren't, you're going to be pulled over, and law enforcement can have a little talk with you, because we want everybody to remain safe, vigilant, and alert. Some of the things we're going to continue to do throughout the day as well as the week is we're going to be looking at our signal timings and making any modifications that we see to try and maximize these 3 alternate routes. And finally, if you're traveling from the Summerville area, we want you to monitor 511 as well. Addition to your commute in, if you took 526. If you stayed on I-26 over the Ravenel, your travel times were much less.
I'm curious, in hindsight, if y'all think any more could have been done to give commuters and motorists a heads up as to the anticipated delays for eastbound traffic?
Well, we obviously want to give as much notice to help folks make an informed decision. That's why we've put the link on our website, SCDOT.org, so you can see the cameras directly. You don't have to go search them out for our alternate routes. You can see the alternate route message boards that we have put in travel times. You can see the visualizations that really hope to educate these drivers coming through this section of how they're going to be stepped down to one lane and then how they're going to safely cross over the Wando Bridge. But we're going to continuously make improvements. Something like this, the first couple days is usually where you see the most, the slower travel times. You see the reduced speeds because folks are still figuring out what's their best way to go from point A to point B.
Are there any changes that you could tell us about at this point in time, having gone through the first phase of rush hour traffic?
No, I mean we're obviously gonna improve, I guess, our traffic control devices. We did a very extensive night inspection tonight because we're not just worried about the daytime. We're worried about when the sun goes down, and we want folks to make sure they can see the delineators as well as the barrels and the cones, and they can see the speed limits. The biggest, you're going to see a lot of some tweaks on our signal timing, on SC Route 41 probably, and we've been continuously working with our partners from Mount Pleasant, City of Charleston on SC Route 41, Clements Ferry, as well as US 17 in Mount Pleasant.
As far as the folks that live in North Charleston that are trying to get to Mount Pleasant for work, it kind of feels like they're taking a hit for what's happening and possibly a hit that they weren't expecting, that with this new lane reversal, it's really impacting them tremendously, we're hearing. So can you comment on how is Is this fair to the people in North Charleston to be dealing with this now?
You know, I don't think anybody's enjoying this down in the low country. You know, it's one Charleston, it's one low country, and so we're trying to find what's the best fit for everybody to get everybody to and from their work, to and from their commutes safely. And you know, from a traffic standpoint, this is the best fit because it opens up. If any of you have lived down here for a while, you know there are 3 main river crossings typically, you know, over the Wando to Cooper River, and to get you to east of the Cooper. And so open it up, this third one, multi-directional, really got us the biggest bang for our buck. And as you can see, you just look right behind me, you see folks that are leaving East Cooper, leaving Daniel Island, leaving Mount Pleasant, that are heading westbound that couldn't do that until yesterday afternoon around 3 p.m.
I know there are folks who live in Mount Pleasant in particular who are very happy about this crossover getting out of Mount Pleasant, but there are other folks who are saying that you took one problem that was affecting one municipality and affecting everyone else. So North Charleston, downtown Charleston, Somerville, Goose Creek even. What would you respond to those people?
Well, obviously there's going to be additional travel time now when you reduce a lane from 2 lanes to 1, but it's a short duration. But again, that's why we're stressing that we want our folks to look maybe at taking I-26 eastbound over the Ravenel, because there was very little congestion this morning. There's congestion down here in low country every day. We all know that. You've got around 162,000 cars a day that use I-26, right around 526. You had 70,100 that crossed this bridge. So you know, you put that in perspective, you know, you've got around 25 to 30,000 that are riding that 41 Clements Ferry detour route, okay? These are not small numbers. So whenever you take a lane away anywhere, it's going to have an effect because all of this is tied together. So it's a symbiotic relationship between all of these routes. So again, I would stress for those folks that maybe typically took I-526 eastbound, if they see on the routes, on the 501 congestion alerts, or if they see on our traffic cameras that it's more than they can handle, they don't want to go this way, then I would encourage them to take I-26 eastbound over the Ravenel. But it all depends on where they're going, okay?
So going back to the bridge itself, the bridge did not show up in the ARTBA list of deficient bridges, despite that info going into government reports and data. So how would it not be considered deficient if a damaged cable required lane closures back in 2016 and that triggered inspections to be sent out?
Well, you know, I'm not a bridge inspector. I'm not a bridge engineer. I'm a traffic engineer. So that's something you'll probably have to ask our bridge folks. But we're constantly doing inspections, so those lists change from time to time. So it might have been on it. You might need to check. I'm sure Secretary Hall, she has called for a full record of the inspections going all the way back that we can release so everybody can see what the inspections found and what we did to mitigate any serious findings. But you know, it might have been on a list one year and then the corrections are made and it comes off. So it's not like it goes on, a bridge doesn't go on a deficient list and stay on it forever. If you did maintenance, then it'll come off. But that's just a general statement.
Okay, so back to your area of expertise. The backup on eastbound lanes heading east seems to have cleared up a lot. Now we're seeing the congestion between Long Point Road and the actual beginning of the crossover. A lot of that seems to be semi-trucks, other big motor vehicles trying to merge into that one lane. So are you doing anything to kind of relieve that, or are you just kind of letting it sort itself out?
Well, from the Mount Pleasant direction, it's worked very well this morning, even during the peak AMs. You know, around 7 a.m. is when we saw the peaks and back up down Long Point, but folks figured it out very quickly and started merging and working together. But obviously the PM peak is where we're going to see this again, and that's where we're going to watch. We're going to see what really happens. We've got 2 counters out that are going to count, you know, what we're getting at some of these ramps as well as the crossovers, and we're going to make corrections. We're going to continue to improve this throughout this whole event.